Good morning. I'm Kelly Moore, the Director of Public Information for Horry County Government. Today we are holding a virtual briefing to update our community on continuing Horry County Government operations in response to the impacts of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, within our community. We will have a series of speakers today, including Horry County Council Chairman Johnny Gardner, Horry County Sheriff Phillip Thompson, Deputy Chief of Police Ken Davis, Chief of Fire Rescue Joseph Tanner, and Assistant County Administrator for Public Safety Randy Webster. In addition, Director of Airports Scott Van Mox and Director of 911 Renee Hardwick will be available for media questions following the briefing. I want to thank our interpreter, Leslie Klepak, for being with us today. We do ask anyone who plans to broadcast this footage to keep her in the frame. Just like a typical press briefing, we will take questions at the end for members of the media. We will take a short break during this briefing to allow time for our media partners to ask questions. Media members are reminded to text your questions to Michaela Moskov in the Public Information Office. At this point, I will turn it over to Horry County Council Chairman Johnny Gardner.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for the weekly press briefing for the county response to COVID-19 pandemic. I just wanted to give you a little bit of update and make a few comments and then turn it over to the experts that will go in more detail of what we're doing and what we are planning on doing. As everyone probably has noticed, most of our county buildings have been open this week with a few restrictions. We are practicing social distancing. We're limiting the number of people that are in small rooms or rooms themselves. We're wearing face masks. That has worked out good this week. We are moving forward and haven't had many problems with that. Next week, we plan on opening up the Living Farm and also the museums starting on Tuesday. Monday is a holiday, and we'll talk more about that today, I'm sure. But we're moving forward and we're getting things done. I told you at the beginning of this pandemic that County Council would continue to do business and the county staff would continue to work, helping to keep the county mission ready. A good example of doing some things positive and helping the community was last night at our county council meeting. It was a virtual meeting, and more on that later. But last night, county council enacted an amendment to the budget which reduces the business license fees and it extends the period for collection. That's important for the local economy because it helps the local businesses jumpstart their businesses, which will help open things up and move us forward and get things rolling. So that's very important. So we're always going to be mission ready moving forward with this, even though we're in the middle of this pandemic. Also, the Welcome Back Committee meets again tomorrow, again helping businesses and citizens move forward and they're helping getting over the basically the last 60 days of pandemic. Things are moving along good, but I need to tell everybody to continue to do the practice safety measures. It's a personal responsibility. I want everybody to continue doing what they're doing. A lot of the reason that we moved as far as we have is because of people, by and large, doing the right thing. Washing your hands, practicing social distancing, if you're sick, staying at home, and just doing just good judgment, doing what's right. Back to the weekend. This is a weekend. It's traditionally a big weekend. We can expect, and we do expect, a lot of visitors coming here. I've been called and I've been emailed about what are we doing for this, what do we expect. We expect a lot of people to show up, but I can promise you that Horry County is going to be prepared for any contingency and that the citizens here, the residents here, need not be alarmed about that. And we'll hear more about that from law enforcement, and we look forward to hearing that. I will also say, if there's a visitor watching this or reading about it later today, we welcome you to come here, but come here and follow the law and obey the rules. We shouldn't have any problems. If we do, we are prepared for every contingency. Back to the virtual meetings, this will probably be, unless there's an emergency or a change, this will probably be our final virtual press briefing. I will tell you, last night's county council meeting was our last virtual meeting. Moving forward, we'll do it live. I told y'all at the beginning of this pandemic that we would continue to be mission ready, at the same time protecting the citizens and the employees, and I believe that we have done that. We will continue to do that, and we're just moving forward. So I ask everybody to continue using good judgment. And at this time, I'd like to introduce my friend, the sheriff, Mr. Phillip Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, everyone. As the chairman mentioned a few minutes ago, we have opened our county buildings back up this week, and I want you to know, I want to say that it has gone extremely well. To be honest, we think it's probably gone a little better than we had anticipated things going, and a lot of that goes to the appreciation of our citizens that's coming in, working with us so that we can get them where they need to go. And so it has gone good. Monday, we got off to a start Monday. Monday was a little rocky at different times, but Tuesday, yesterday, really worked well. And we have our folks here at the Justice and the Justice Building, Administrative Building. When you're coming in, they're here to help you and they're here to assist you. If you need to go to a department, it's a really good idea and would help you if you would call ahead and set up an appointment. That way when you get here and you come up where our folks are at, they've already got you in the system and they're waiting on you. You just let them know who you are, what department you will go into, and we can get you there as quickly as possible. Now, if you can't do that and come in, we will work with you in getting with the department and getting you there as quickly as we can. That's both in the admin building and that's also in the Justice Center. We are having some court this week. We've had some family court. We've had some hearings with different type hearings with circuit court judges. We're still doing virtual hearings with the detention center in here. We are moving some cases right along. We haven't had jury trials, and I don't know exactly when we're going to get there, but it will be, I'm sure, in the very near future. But like I said, things are going really good with opening the buildings back up. We ask you if you would wear a face mask when you come to any of our buildings. The Justice Center here, admin building here, the North Strand area, at Stevens Crossroads, that building, the South Strand area. If you could wear a mask, it would be greatly appreciated. If you don't have one, our staff has one, so that they will give it to you. And we ask that you please wear that when you're in close proximity with all our folks. The detention center, things are going good. We're status quo there. We haven't changed the operation any in what we're doing there. Proud to report that we do not have any additional cases of the COVID-19, both with our employees and with our inmates. We're continuing to use the same procedure and policies that we have used and set up to this point. Now we are seeing our numbers rise, and with the opening up of the county and opening up of different areas and things, we have had more bookings coming in. But our judges, our magistrates, and our other judges working virtually has really helped with keeping our numbers down, and things are going good out there. This is Memorial Day weekend. We're gearing up all over the county. Every department and all of us, we're gearing up for a big weekend. The Sheriff's Office will have deputies assigned to Myrtle Beach to assist Myrtle Beach Police Department. We'll also be assisting North Myrtle Beach Police Department, and the Myrtle Beach Detention Center has requested assistance and help from some of our folks at Jail and Long Day. We'll be working there both day and night shift. They've requested some additional vans for transport. So we're working, we're out there, things are going well. And this has been quite an ordeal and quite an experience, but I want to tell you, it's going real well. And a lot of it has to do with our county staff, with how hard they've worked and planned and met, and our council's support to get us through this and to provide the resources and what's been needed to do. But also I want to mention that you, the citizens of this county, has made a tremendous difference in the success and what we've been able to do and what we've been able to accomplish here in Horry County. So let's just continue to do that. Let's stay safe. Let's practice what we've been doing, and let's go forward. So at this particular time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Deputy Chief from the Horry County Police Department, Chief Davis.
Thank you, Sheriff Thompson. My name is Ken Davis. I'm a Deputy Chief for Operations with the Horry County Police Department. Would first off like to just reiterate some of the Sheriff's and the Chairman's remarks about our success thus far being so incumbent upon the willingness of our citizens to work together, their patience with us, their patience with one another. We appreciate that so very much. We look forward as we move forward from the COVID-19 situation. We look forward to working even more so and getting to see more of you. Our precincts are open now. We do ask that when you come in to see us, please bring a mask with you and wear it. Please maintain your social distancing while you're in there, and we will do whatever we can to assist you with your needs. We do still encourage the online reporting if you're able to do that, or reporting by telephone, speaking with one of our officers if it's something that's less urgent that we can talk with you about. We're happy to help you in that regard as well. Regarding this weekend, we're prepared for a busy weekend. We know there'll be a large crowd here, and we have some contingencies in place to address those large crowds. We've been in constant contact with our local partners and state partners as well, as we always are, to prepare for events like this. We have a wonderful partnership with our Sheriff's Department here. And we have been in constant contact with them about booking issues, transport, that type of thing, and we appreciate their assistance to us in regard to these matters as well. As we move forward, we look forward to a pleasant and peaceful weekend. Don't know what the weather's going to bring, but we want folks to come down here, as the chairman said, we want to have a good time. We just ask that you think of others as you're here and seek to engage responsibly and have a wonderful time while you're at the beach. And we'll hope that you have safe travels here and safe travels home when you're finished with your time with us. So thank you very much, and stay safe. We look forward to seeing all of you this weekend. Thank you. I would like to introduce our fire chief, Chief Joey Tanner.
Thank you, Chief Davis. First off, I'd like to, again, reiterate everything that was said by the chairman and those before me. And as we want to thank you, the citizens, for working with us during this time. I know it's been very difficult for all of us, but we appreciate your time and your efforts and your patience working with us. I also want to thank our council for their support. They've been with us every step of the way to make sure that we are getting the resources that we need, and our administrative staff and our team members in other departments as well too. But as we begin to reopen, we are beginning to see an increased call volume. And it's not to do with the COVID-19 response, it's simply with the number of people coming to Horry County. We see that at this time of year typically. We begin to upstaff some of our units for additional units to respond. Actually beginning, excuse me, May the 30th, we'll have our, what we call our surge units responding because of the crowds that will be here. We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. We'll also have a boat in the waterway to assist the boaters who are in the waterway as well too. Again, that begins May the 30th. Again, that's typically what we've been doing over the last 4 or 5 years. Moving on to the holiday weekend, we're prepared to work with our regional public safety partners as we have in the past. Memorial Day weekend has always been a big weekend for us, for call volumes and those things as well too. So we're prepared as we did any other Memorial Day weekend with our staffing levels. One thing we will tell you of the COVID-19 calls and patients that we've had, Horry County's had 306 positive patients. Of those 306, Horry County Fire Rescue has transported 21 of those patients. As I told you, we're still average around 20 or less patients that we transport that are symptomatic but not necessarily positive, and we see that with these numbers here. We're still asking for your cooperation and physical distancing and requesting frequent hand washing and checking and helping our neighbors back and forth. So we ask you to continue to do that. Enjoy yourself this weekend in Horry County, and we'll ask you now at this time we'll come back in about 2 minutes for your questions. So thank you for your time.
Welcome back, everybody. Randy Webster, Assistant County Administrator for Public Safety. Once again, we just want to thank you for your continued cooperation and working with us through this pandemic as we work forward and making all these adjustments and changes along the way as we get more information and continue to understand how this COVID-19 pandemic rolls out and affects things, and so we're just adjusting to that just like everybody else is. Once again, from behalf of the Administrator, Council, and the rest of us, we really want to say thank you to our employees who have done a super job continuing to stay mission ready and adjusting to the new environment as we continue to move forward with this COVID-19 pandemic. So once again, thank you all very much. We just really appreciate what you're doing to help the citizens and allowing us all to continue to serve all those in Horry County. At this time, go ahead and open up for any questions that we may have.
Anjali with WPDE asks, what would Horry County Police Department consider a threat to public health? How big of a gathering would they consider a threat?
I'd like to ask Chief Davis if he would respond to that.
Thank you, Mr. Webster. As we would in any situation, it's the totality of the situation itself. Numbers of people, location, whether it's an inside or outside venue. It'd be hard to answer to just give a specific number, because frankly that wouldn't be a fair assessment. So what we look at is the entirety of the situation, the totality as I described, and our officers have discretion to act along those guidelines, and we will do so.
Also from WPDE, with Memorial Day weekend quickly approaching, how will police enforce social distancing on Horry County's beaches and enforce capacity limits in restaurants and businesses?
Of course, we are glad that folks have been practicing social distancing for the most part, from what we've seen. Our officers, especially our beach patrol officers, will continue to urge the social distancing. Of course, it's not a mandate as it was before with the governor's office, but he urges that, and we certainly support that, and we move forward in that regard. With respect to eateries and whatnot, we would ask the same cooperation from our partners in the hospitality industry, along with our visitors, to maintain that mindset.
From the Horry Independent, this weekend, are there a certain number of extra officers being brought in, and will they be patrolling certain areas?
Well, as in any high-capacity weekend that we have, or high-capacity time we have here at the Grand Strand, of course, we'll always address that with specific plans and contingencies. We will have extra officers working this weekend. I would not be at liberty to discuss where those folks will be or how many that we have brought in. We have increased staffing. We do that to maintain operational security.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chief.
From WMBF, does Sheriff Thompson have an update on the J. Reuben worker who tested positive? Are they doing well and back at work?
Ask Sheriff Thompson to please respond to that. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you, Mr. Webster. Thank you for asking and inquiring about it. He is doing a lot better. He is not back at work at this particular time, but he hasn't been cleared to come back to work. But in speaking with him, I didn't speak to him, our director spoke to him earlier this week, and I was talking to our director yesterday. He said he is feeling better. He's feeling good, as a matter of fact, and we hope he'll be returning very soon.
Thanks, Sheriff.
WMBF asks, can Scott speak about the Memorial Day airline traffic coming into MYR?
Director Van Mox will answer that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Spirit, Allegiant, Frontier, and Sun Country have all begun flying this week. Load ranges are anywhere from 65 to 95% full. These airlines, along with American, Delta, and United, have implemented social distancing and safety procedures throughout the flying process and have really done an outstanding job providing a safe and efficient experience.
Thanks, Scott.
Randy, from social media, when will parks, recreation, and playground facilities reopen?
So we are continuing to watch and learn from the governor's orders and how those start to be rescinded and make it a little easier for us to get into the parks and recs activities more. We're doing that. We're gearing up in anticipation of that happening, and hopefully we'll have announcements coming up soon as to when those activities may begin and what level they may begin at over the next few weeks. So more to come on that, and we'll just keep, we'll make sure everybody's aware of that when it's ready.
Thank you. WBTW asks, besides the Sheriff's Office, Horry County Police Department, and Horry County Fire Rescue, has emergency management met with or spoken with the city of Myrtle Beach about a plan for this weekend?
So as in every major event that we have, you know, we're treating this just like a traditional Memorial Day weekend. There's been a lot of communication that's gone on between all parties, all entities, and a lot of information going back and forth in the law enforcement community, as well as coordination with all of our state partners. So once again, we're at the ready. Our EOC is actually still virtually activated. It will continue to be that way through this weekend, and we will be able to respond to any needs that arise within the communities. You know, our primary mission is to manage the event, or manage is not the right word, but to monitor the event in the unincorporated areas, as well as assist with the municipalities in any way we can. We're all one big community, all one big family, and we just want to continue to emphasize that folks, please come, enjoy yourselves, have a great time, stay safe, but please obey the laws, and please treat each other with respect, and there'll be no problems. It'll be a great weekend, but we are prepared for any contingency, as it's been said before, and we will make sure we take action that needs to be taken to secure the scene and to ensure the safety of our residents and our visitors.
That concludes the media questions at this time.
Thank you all very much.